guitarist.
Doesn't like washing his hair.
It's a great solo, man.
Badass
It is.
song is what it is.
All right, you're up.
I've heard this name already. It's Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl is I mean, he's
Make
fantastic.
2 out of 3.
Man. And it's so funny.
This is a theme. This is what y'all do. Is y'all get on the golf course and you gang up on me.
We didn't even
And then-
discuss our drummers.
Nope.
He said one thing today about something else later in a video, and all he said was, "You'll hear that again."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which you said just a little while ago.
Just a little while.
Because you were going to hear it again.
But I still find it so ironic that when they started, you've got the blonde-haired, shaggy lead singer frontman, and you've got the dark-haired, long-haired guy back there hammering on the drums, and then Cobain dies, and Foo Fighters become something. And then you basically got a flip-flop.
He was in a room like this above the garage.
Just hanging out, having a good time.
Let me put my toe through the shotgun trigger assembly.
And that was the end of it. But then it basically a reversal of fortune where you've got the blonde-headed, shaggy guy who is the drummer. They almost look alike, and now Grohl's the frontman doing his thing.
It's like I said in my video the other day. If Kurt and Dave had come together, they would be Lennon and McCartney. Because
that's a good point.
Because Dave only co-wrote like 5 songs by then.
Mm-hmm.
You remember what they are?
All Apologies, Service Servants. It was all on Scentless Apprentice. They were all on.
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
Aneurysm.
Aneurysm
Marigold.
and
Remember Marigold?
He didn't do Smells Like Teen Spirit.
I think he did.
I know he did because they didn't record it. That's not him on that album.
Really?
No.
No.
No, I think he
Who
co-wrote
is it?
that.
No.
At any rate, there's like 4 or 5 songs. And
It's
Aneurysm's brilliant.
No,
It was
Dale
Taylor Hawkins.
Go back and
It was
watch.
Dale Crover.
Go back. It was Dale Crover. Go back and watch their acceptance. Foo Fighters, the Nirvana's acceptance to the Hall of Fame. Dave admits that. He says,
Okay.
He goes, he goes, that wasn't me, guys. That was Dale Crover.
Yeah, but who wrote it or who recorded it?
He didn't write it. Dale Crover.
I'm not saying wrote it. I'm saying recorded it. Because look,
He might have recorded it.
I think he did. Because you
But
could
Dale
record.
Crover
You could
wrote it.
record a badass drum part. But let's say you're a subpar drummer. But I'm an awesome drummer. I'm like.
But they didn't know who he was.
But I know. But I said, Teeter, what was that you just played? And I'm like, give me them sticks. And then I played it and just owned it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like you,
But no,
you came
Dale-
up with it, but
yeah.
I made it what it was. You know.
I
What
think
I'm
he
saying?
did all his co-writing on the last album they did.
Mm.
But that's just.
Okay. Are you done with yours too?
Remember when Metallica and Dave Mustaine, when James and Dave and Lars were just like ragging Kurt for dying?
Mm-hmm.
All those videos and stuff. Like they had. I'll never forget this. Right after he died, they had Dave on MTV, and they said,
Dave Mustaine.
"Yeah, they were like, hey, what do you think?"
He
about?
used to say stuff for shock value.
But he
a
would
lot,
say,
though.
"Hey, what do you think about Kurt
he's-
Cobain?" And he
he's
goes, "He was a good shot." You know, and I was like, "Good gosh!" And then I saw a video the other day of James and Lars talking shit, which made me want to punch Lars in the face because Lars goes,
Lars is 5'7".
Lars said, "What
James
does
6'2".
what does McDonald's and Nirvana?" This is in front of the whole crowd. What does McDonald's and Nirvana have in common? And he goes, "They're both hiring." And I'm like, "Geez, Louise, man."
I hear you.
Yeah.
Dave Mustaine's just a bitter bitch. I mean, that's
I
all
like
it
It's
is.
gotten better over the
It
years.
has.
And he's a talented dude, so he can do what he
It's gotten
wants.
better over the years. It's been 30.
Has been forever.
Yeah.
Doesn't always live up to it, I don't think.
Yeah.
My next, 5, wherever we're at, is
Lars
Eloy Casagrande.
I don't think I know who that is.
He's the current drummer for Sepultura. He is the hardest hitting drummer on planet Earth. Looks like he goes to the gym 7 hours a day. He is an absolute beast. Go to his YouTube channel. He actually plays a
We don't even know how to spell that shit, man.
Eloy Casagrande.
He's Sepultura's
Casagrande.
current drummer.
He's their current drummer.
Maybe Igor's on your list,
And
man.
he was gonna be, but he's not. But listen, he actually does Philip Bailey. He does a cover of that, but he does like Dyer's Eve, and he'll do some Sepp songs and stuff. But he is just unbelievable. Like you feel like you're in a CrossFit box watching him play drums. He's just unbelievably. He knocks the ever living shit out of the drums, and is spot on. Doesn't miss a note. Just hard hitting. Just an amazing metal drummer. He is one of my newest finds as far as watching drummers. I follow a ton of them
There you
on
go.
YouTube.
All right, my number 5. I'll go ahead and pull the Band-Aid off and get this over with. John Bonham from Led Zeppelin. I give him the 5 spot.
With Nico, couldn't play with 2 feet. He was too fast with one, so
Yeah.
same type of thing.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Everybody
Yeah.
probably watching this would say If you ask who the greatest drummer was, or even they didn't know who he was or not, they would say, "Oh, John Bonham."
Mhm.
But
It was amazing.
I have to give credit where credit's due.
Do you know what the hardest song to play by them is?
How did that go again?
Which one?
Yeah, like if it was John Bonham, how would it go? Who's the greatest drummer of all time?
Oh, yeah, John Bonham.
That's
Well,
not make sure I have
name me 4 Led Zeppelin albums. Oh, I don't have to. I got to watch.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You know, you could do that.
What is the? Do you know what the hardest song most drummers on YouTube say is to play?
Yeah, it's
Cashmere.
I'll give you. It's 4 words. And it's a comma. 2 of the words are the same.
Oh, I mean,
Good times, bad times.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason like that.
I
Laid
would
back.
think like Misty Mountain Hop or something.
Well,
like
I mean,
that.
no, don't get me wrong. There's tons of them that are hard, but most people will say that that's one of the hardest ones to play.
And then Ramble On.
Yeah.
Ramble On's pretty tough. I mean, I've sat behind his drums and tried to play John Bonham stuff.
Yeah,
in
it's,
my
you
head.
just give up.
Can't do it.
But if you can't master a Bonham triplet, you're really not. You haven't become a drummer yet
Yeah.
because that is just an awesome.
But he's great. I mean, he's
and
fantastic.
it's fairly simple to do.
I
But
would
it
say
sounds
he's the-
awesome when you speed it up.
second best member in that, second best musician in that band.
Mhm.
That's what
Behind JPJ.
John Paul Jones. Absolutely. The mastermind behind that.
And while we're on the subject, I was thinking about it the other day. Robert Plant needs to stop doing solo albums because everything he's ever done sucks.
He did some great stuff with Alison
God,
Krauss.
no, I don't like him.
You
He
don't like the
on-
Honey Drippers, man? What's your problem?
Oh, that is so bad.
Come on, dude.
He only exists in Zeppelin in my mind because everything he does outside of that is horrible.
What's
Oh,
that?
God.
All right,
Tall
dude.
Cool
Oh,
One?
God.
Is that his-
Oh
Tall Cool
God,
One?
I'd forgotten about that. That's horrible too.
Got you, man.
All right.
Got you.
That's like an '80s commercials. What that is,
My 4
like Pepsi or something.
is
Spit it out, Teeter. Come on.
Braun Daler from Mastodon.
Oh, Braun Daler. Braun.
But
I like
And
that
he knows
pick.
how tall he is.
Yeah.
Don't worry. He's
That's
going to tell you how to
He's
say his
just a
damn
normal
name, and
guy.
it's going to be tall.
I mean,
7'12".
What can you say about it? He's a master.
He's a beast. He's loud. He's fantastic. He can sing when he plays. He's been on the cover of Modern Drummer and drum magazines more than any other drummer in the planet for a reason.
And he's got like a 5-piece kit with
Just
like 4 cymbals and you feel like he's playing like a Neil Peart
Yeah.
style
it's crazy how good he
kit.
is.
Like he's insane.
Yeah, Mastodon.
They're another band that drum is its own solo instrument.
Yeah.
And you put any other drummer that just plays straight beats in that band, Mastodon's not nearly as good. They're still interesting, but him and Brent combining what they do is just, it's magic, man. They were meant to find each other.
That's my number.
It's a great pick, Teeter. I love
That's
it.
my number 4.
All right, my number 4 is where are we at? Thomas Hawk,
What the Hawk?
H-A-K-E, Meshuggah. If you don't know anything about Meshuggah, they play polyrhythms. They've got 2 8-string guitars.
Give me some of that much sugar.
I got a Meshuggah tattoo on my forearm. I love them, man. Like the easiest thing is to go listen to Bleed. I mean, that's the quintessential drum track from them. If you want to know how technically amazing that dude is, but he basically plays. He'll play 4/4 with his hand, 7/8 with his feet, while the band's playing 6/8. And it's just he's like Danny Carey but better. Like he could play Tool songs without missing a beat. But the dude is just insane. Like the way his mind, he's just built differently than most humans. The fact that he can function in that band and hold it all together, and he's actually just technically brilliant. I have nothing bad to say about him. So, Meshuggah. How is that not on your list, John?
I don't know what the hell that is.
We're gonna listen to Bleed
I'm
when
not
this is
gonna
over.
4, you've already heard. Stuart Copeland. You listen to the Police's stuff. The way that
He's our first
it was
one.
almost.
That is true.
You had some that were a little
No,
laid
we-
back, but a lot of their
we had
music
all
was
purple,
so
all had purple
frantic.
rain.
I mean, it was just there. It is,
In
and
the
you
soundtrack.
hear
Oh yeah.
Sting singing. Just everything was fast, and it was just there was so much sound going on while Sting was doing the singing. And
Let me ask you this.
Yes,
You know how there's bands where you're like, God, I wish they'd have just quit 2 albums ago.
I wish the police.
But
kept going
listen. But I'm
for
saying
decades.
they've got Zendada, they've got Synchronicity, they've got
Ghost in the Machine.
Ghost in the Machine, they've got there's I think 5 albums.
Mhm.
They're kind of like Dire Straits. Like, do you think they could have done another 2 and still been? And can you top Synchronicity? Like, can you go to another level, or are you glad? You know, like part of you is like, man, I wish there was more Police content. But then you're like, at the same time, what if it had sucked? What if they'd have lost their edge and not been as good? So it's kind of cool they went out on top.
And you have everything minimized to where if you went to say, I'm listening to their catalog, you could go over and over instead of going, oh, that shit's terrible over there.
I mean, there's nothing. I mean, I've got their box set. I've got everything they've ever done, and I love every song they've ever written. They're all so unique and different, and their hits are just unbelievable. The stuff they could have released as hits were unbelievable, and Stewart obviously is a huge part of that. And part of me wants to like punch Sting for being the arrogant guy that quit and did his own Green Turtles type stuff, and his solo stuff is great because it's basically like it's pop 40 or top 40 Police stuff. I mean, he wrote the Police songs, you know. So,
you remember me.
Yeah. I'm so happy I could cry, or whatever it is.
Quick trivia question, though, because I saw this on.
I like it.
On Jeopardy.
Love some trivia.
On Jeopardy the other night.
What?
It blew my mind.
Ow.
This was last night, as a matter of fact, but the category was 1970s top 40 hits.
I'll take 1970s top 40 hits for 800, Alex.
The question was, and I don't have this verbatim, but it said this song was derived by someone who was walking down the street and saw
Mark Cohen walking in Memphis.
No, listen. Saw a poster on on a building of Cyrano de Bergerac, and combined that with Ladies of the Night to create this song. Now I'm thinking top 70 or 1970s top 40 hits.
Roxanne.
What year did that come out?
That was like 79, 78.
78. I swore that song came out 80 or 81.
Yeah.
Well, the Red Light District is a you know, where you pick up whores, so that's what we're talking about.
But I was like, damn, it wasn't that I didn't think that song, but I thought it was 80, 81 because it was in 48 Hours in 82.
Yeah.
That Red Light District, though, you go to a Red Light District to pick up whores. Yeah. That red light ought to denote that, hey, stop for the red light because you're about to get an STD.
That's
Never
would have guessed that came out in 78.
I think your chances of STD are higher than not.
In the red light district?
Yeah.
Higher than your average high school.
Sure. All right, you're up. What number? 2?
3.
3. Man.
So many songs you can listen to. I know you're a massive fan. We've heard this in the past.
Me or Teeter?
You.
Oh.
But I mean, there's so many songs you could listen to. But if you truly want to hear the mastery of what it is, I mean, you can go Cottontail, you can go Limelight. Listen to Tom Sawyer and listen to the run that Neil Peart puts together.
He is ingenious.
It's insane that anybody can even envision something like that, let alone execute it from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, and just keep running it. He's hard to top for me, and I didn't get it when I was younger. But I listen to it now, and I'm like, this guy is.
And a lot. There's just as many people that pick Peart over Bonham as the number one drummer of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 1 and 2.
His hi-hat work is, his ride work is what I'm trying to say. Is super.
His everything work,
but just specifically like on God, what's the damn song? Anyway, it'll come back to me. Jeez,
we got it.
Good pick, good pick. My next one
what is it? What's one of the biggest hits?
Limelight, Tom Sawyer,
Radio,
radio. Oh yeah. Free.
See, it escapes us all.
No, it does. It does.
But that's the song I'm talking about.
It's
Spirit of Radio.
Spirit of Radio.
Yeah, that damn.
Living on the lighted stage.
His ride work on that song.
Yep.
Is disgusting.
All of 2112 is brilliant. I mean, that's what made me fall in love with him. But my next one is Mario Duplante.
Man, you were picking people we don't even know who they are.
He's from Gojira.
That's
okay, another brother.
We saw Gojira at the Ritz.
We did. We saw them. We also saw them in Carolina Rebellion. Remember they played
and
that
the sound was terrible.
It was we couldn't hear them. Yeah. It was because the way
the Ritz was better.
Sonic. Oh yeah. Another brother combo.
Yeah.
Like Dimebag and Vinny and the Van Halen brothers and all that, and Sepultura. I think there's something to that. I think people need to study it. But Mario is one. He's like if Danny Carey played faster. He's so damn creative, and I'll tell you what, he's a combination of Keith Moon and Danny Carey. If you can compute what that means, like that dude is so technically brilliant, so fast. his syncopation and his rhythms are just spot on. He doesn't miss a beat. He's just, I mean, he doesn't, and to be able to lock in with the rhythms that Gojira plays, is the guitar riffs are not terribly difficult, but for him to do it on the drums is a completely different animal. You know, playing drums in that band is way more difficult than playing guitar in that band. Even though both have their challenges. So Mario is one of my new favorite drummers, and I think I got to like dissecting his stuff, and I watch a ton of YouTube videos. I'll just go on and listen to people playing covers of drum songs without the song, just to study the drum parts, because I'm just so fascinated by wanting to be a drummer, because I'm a guitarist and I'm a hack at drumming, and I just want to play drums well. And
at least you own that.
I study it because it's just something I remember my dad in 7th grade, 8th grade asked me, he's like, you want to play guitar or drums? Because we went out and bought a guitar. And I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, I want to play guitar. And it was really about girls. I thought I could get more girls with guitar.
Drummers.
I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I wished I'd have picked drums. I really do. I wish I couldn't play guitar. I wish I had nothing to do with it. I just wish I was an awesome drummer.
He was probably happy with the guitar, because the drums would have been a lot noisier.
Especially
when you're first learning.
Can you imagine how many sets Cash would have?
Oh, God. I would have the biggest set. It wouldn't fit in this room by now.
He would have, like, this is a great set from 64.
I'd be like, Teeter, we got to practice at my house because it doesn't fit in your house, and I can't move it. I don't have a truck, you know. And it would have taken up my whole bed. I'd have slept in the like living room or something, because there'd have been no room for a bed. I'd have had this like massive kit. I'd have looked like.
Barley told me not to sleep in my jeans about 1,000,000 times.
But
she'd wake me up. Why you got your jeans on? Because I want to sleep in my jeans. You ain't gonna have babies.
Your sperm count's gonna be down. But Mario is I just every time I watch him, I realize this is why I like Gojira. This is why it sonically appeals to me, is because of the stuff he's doing behind that kit. Because he's brilliant. If you don't know him, check him out. And Gojira in general.
I got something to show you before you leave.
Okay.
Remind me about Gojira.
All right. Is it your penis?
I mean, no.
Okay. All right, just checking. Because John will be interested. I didn't know if he was going to stick around longer.
I'm going to pull that on. Kenny.
You kill Kenny.
Get that Ronnie Spector talk over there.
Whoa. All right, go for it.
My number 3 is the same as John.
Mm.
No Peart. What else do you say?
Well, not much more to be said.
Well, it's kind of funny because let me just go on to my number 2.
I gotta do
Neil
my number
Peart.
2. I gotta do my number
I know.
2.
He's gotta do his number
Mine's Neil Peart.
Okay, I'll go after you.
All right.
This is your show.
Your 3 and my 2
you.
are the same.
Okay.
So let's talk about Neil Peart.
We already did.
It's not my thing.
I know, but what do you got to add to it?
Nothing.
Anything?
We've already talked about how great he is.
When at the same time that I bought Under the Table and Drumming, I also got the double VHS cassette of everything he did on Test for Echo. He did a whole drum thing, and the only difference between it is that he speaks so amazingly well. Like, he's an orator at heart. I mean, he's a writer.
Well, he writes the lyrics to all their songs.
I don't know what I'm saying. Compared to Carter, Carter was like, I get drums, you know. Like, he's not as intelligent. Like, Peart's just a brilliant dude.
Agreed.
Like, if you've ever read his books, he did all their lyrics, like you said. He's just unbelievable. And 2112 is what got me into Rush, and that whole drum experience just blows your mind. It's evil what he's able to do. And during Test for Echo, he went back and went from match script to traditional, relearned how to completely play the drums, and became even better. Test for Echo, he's a better drummer than making movies or anything else he ever did. Like, it's crazy that imagine John Bonham going, I suck, I'm reinventing myself, I'll be back next summer. And he's better. Like, nobody does that. And Peart, I hate that he's dead, because he was just such a great talent in every facet of the word. And a weird dude, and I respect that. I like that he was aloof and on his own and, you know, quiet and reserved and did his own thing.
Was he a novelist, too? Did he write books?
Yeah, he wrote books, yeah. When he lost a wife, he lost a daughter in 2 separate incidences.
Yeah,
and he basically got on a bike and just cruised across Canada for like a month and a half and wrote a book about it. And it's brilliant, man. It really gets you in a different headspace. It's like Henry, Waldo Emerson or something. It's just awesome. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
It's a tough. My number 2 we already talked about is Danny Carey of Tool.
Brilliant.
He's just fantastic.
Brilliant.
Just a massive. His understanding of mathematics. My bass player and I last night we had a gig and we were talking during a break about Court is an extremely jazz-oriented school jazz musician, and he was trying to teach me about Danny Carey doing because we're trying to work out a version of 46 and 2 right now.
Oh, sweet.
Which is great. But he was trying to tell me how we count on the sevens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When Danny does it, he goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3.
Yeah,
and
his mind doesn't work like ours.
It's different.
And it's the same thing with Hawk and from Meshuggah. Like those dudes are they're on a different plane,
right.
man. They're on a different plane.
And he's a big Aleister Crowley fan and Satanist and all that stuff.
He's an interesting character, man.
Yeah.
Like he would be, I read Maynard's book. I know you have. You read Maynard's book?
No.
You need to. But he would be one that I'd be just as interested to read his perspective on stuff as that. Bye, John.
Johnson, screw you.
Oh, is that the same roasted nuts we ate like 2 months ago?
Man, that's the different ones.
All right, so you went twice. Now I did mine.
Here,
all right, you're up.
Number 2.
You did Peart.
And I appreciate the fact we're not calling him Peart because it ain't Peart, it's Peart. His name's Neil Peart.
2 has been discussed. I don't remember if he was on either one of your lists. It's a damn shame that he died at the age of 32.
Joey Kramer's on your list.
It's a damn shame he died at the age of 32 because his mind was about as silly.
Wait. Dennis Wilson.
That's not bad.
Or who's the other dead drummer died at 32?
Keith Moon.
I was going to say Bonham.
That's who you're going with?
He's badass, man. That's a great pick. That is a great pick.
I don't think it's a bad pick at all.
No. And I'm going to tell you what, like, go on YouTube and watch somebody do a cover of just the Who drum isolated. And you listen to it without any of the music. I don't want to hear them sing at all. Just cut Daltrey and Townsend and all that out of it. And just listen. It's its own song. He is a soloist from the word go. And a lot of the people that we've mentioned have built upon what Moon did. And then I'm sure it didn't hurt that he did all these drugs and was he's out of his mind crazy. He must have been an awesome dude to party with,
Well, there's some good stories in Keith's stuff. About Keith Moon.
Yeah.
And Ringo has some great Keith
But
Moon
when you're on
stories.
that many drugs, your imagination expands to a level that you're not ready for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you can either have
an overdose, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can either have brilliance or shit that comes away from something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1.
He was the
Here we go. Number 1.
I'll have
drum
roll.
roll.
One thing to add about Keith
the
Moon.
one thing about a drum roll.
Oh yeah, he was the only good thing about that man. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
He knows who my number 1 is.
What are you doing?
I like it. Can you give me Good Times, Bad Times?
I cannot play that.
You
no.
can't.
That's my number 1. I guess it's John Bonham.
Bonham? Okay, fair enough. Do you feel we've said enough about him? He was an interesting character, man. And he's one of them dudes, like, I don't feel like we know enough about. Kind of like Keith Moon. Like, they died so soon. Jimmy, all those dudes, it's like, I feel like there was so much more to them that we just will never know,
Did you ever listen to his son's band?
Who?
Jason Bonham.
Yeah.
He actually was a pretty talented guy.
He's a great drummer.
Yeah.
He can play all. Yeah, he can play all of his dad's stuff. Like
you listen to him do "Wait for You," like with the main song that they had.
Right.
And he's out there with his jean jacket. With
what was his name? The Bonham. What was it?
It was
Jason Bonham.
It was
just Bonham.
That's right.
Yeah,
because they came out in the late '80s, maybe early '90s. Kind of the same time that
they were in the
Blue Murder came out and all that stuff.
They were in all that hair.
I remember the
But you listen to him. I mean, he plays drums for probably the first.
No, he's no slouch.
You want to know one thing that really stands out to me about Zeppelin when he died? This makes me go, okay, this is how important he was to that man. Robert Plant said, "I'm not doing this anymore."
Yeah.
He bailed.
He did. He was like, "It's done. It's over."
Yeah.
When he died,
it's a good call.
He goes, "I can't. We'll never be this band again."
And now you wonder how much of, because let's be real, he's an egotistical bastard. So you want Robert Plant.
Oh yeah.
So you wonder how much of he took that ego and said, you know what, my ego's so big and I'm so big, I can do this on my own. Well, the truth is, dude, no, you couldn't.
See, I don't know that he thinks he could do that on his own. I'm trying to defend him for a minute. I think he thinks that they just can't do not as well. I don't think he stopped Led Zeppelin to say, "Oh, I'm going to be better." I think Bonham died, and he said, we can't beat Led Zeppelin anymore.
Right. We can't have Keith Moon, so who are we going to be?
Right.
You know what my favorite Zeppelin songs is? Only because of what I know it's about his dead son. You know what one of my favorite songs is? All of Them I Love.
Really?
I think that's just, I don't know what it is.
What that song's about?
Yeah, it's about his, because he was like Clapton. Like, remember Clapton's son, like, was like, I'll be out on the patio, bloop, and then just dove. I mean, remember? And he was like 3.
Yeah.
He lost a kid like that. I don't think it was the same way.
Skaggs.
Yeah. And so I like that song just because he wrote it for his dead son. I thought that was kind of cool. So if I ever lose one of my boys, I'm going to have to write a song.
This just got very morbid.
And
they're going to die. I just don't know if they'll die before me. I mean, I don't want them to.
That guitar and synthesizer at the beginning of that song is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's weird, like, other than the chorus, you don't know what he's singing about. It makes no sense. Like, you're like, what are you talking about, Robert? Like, this is about your dead son. Like, but the chorus makes sense, but the words are,
Ramble On's about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of references to the Tolkien type stuff. All right, so my number one, Teeter's already said it, is Braun Daler. For me, the drums begin and end with Braun, and he's only come into my life in, the last 6 years maybe. I heard Blood and Thunder, and I was like, this is the baddest band I've ever heard in my life. They're my favorite band.
Mastodon?
I've got like 4 tattoos. I'm going to get more. Like, I love them. Braun, to me, does so... He's so fast with his toms. His fit, like, if you listen to a Braun, he's like Keith Moon because everything he does is a solo. He's constant, blah, 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 just he doesn't slow down. I don't know how he plays a song for a concert for 2.5 hours because the dude just must be smoked. Plus, he's got the voice of an angel. They're a band that has 3 lead singers. They just do things that no other band has ever done, in my opinion. No one is better than Mastodon, and I will say that to my grave until something better comes along. Braun is my favorite. All of my cymbals, I have 14 cymbals in my kit. It's a little overkill, but nevertheless, I like having stuff to hit. And all of them are Meinl. Why are they Meinl? Because that's what Braun Daler plays. I got his signature ride. I've got all Meinl cymbals in the Dark series, and I go on Meinl's YouTube channel all the time because Braun's got like 4 songs he plays. And I watch them. I'm probably 30% of the reason why that has so many views because I cannot stop watching it. I love. He's
this diet sauce.
He is fun. He is so fun to watch, and he just blows me away. And he's just a great dude. Like all those guys in that band trip me out. So that is my whatever.
Number one drummer. My number one is
I can't believe you haven't seen Carter Beauford yet.
Because it is Carter Beauford.
Okay. I was about to say, dang, T.
Yeah, I've sat on stage and sat behind Carter.
You played with them one time. You sat in when Leroy got run over by a tractor. You sat in on the sax, didn't you?
No, but I have sat on stage while they played, and I have sat behind Carter and watched how effortlessly.
You've smelled his farts.
If he did,
I think you have.
That's weird. But how effortlessly.
Oh, Carter farts while he drums. That's what makes him so good. Little known fact.
Where are we going?
Yeah. We're going to hell.
They probably all do.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But
fair enough.
He's an effortless drummer, but he's just thunder.
Yeah, he is awesome.
He plays.
And wouldn't you love to play that kid? Wouldn't you love to just sit down in an arena and just be like, it'd take you 30 minutes to get down his toms, right?
You guys probably know this, but when they hit the last note, they're gone.
Yeah.
So I'm standing on stage one night in Charlotte, and they hit the last note. Lights come up. Those jokers are tailing it to the buses. Buses are fired up and gone. And I stand behind Carter's kit, and I come within an ass hair of just jumping on it. And
playing with your hands.
And Rhodey goes, if you're not going to help, get out of the way. And I was like, okay, I'm out of the way. But man, I wanted to just step behind that thing and just see, but no. We have a bunch of sticks too. I'll show them to you. But Carter called my kids up on stage one night, and that was a good night. But anyway, maybe that's part of the connection too. But just watching him was pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. We get to go see him in 2 weeks.
That's awesome. And you know what the theme of all these people is that none of them are in crappy bands. No. Like, even if John doesn't know who Meshuggah is, I promise you that band, like everybody we've mentioned, is just a solid musical unit, and so much of it comes from rhythm, because everything is based on rhythm, and that's just what's so brilliant about music. A guitar riff, whatever, everything's rhythm, and these dudes all embody what makes these bands so brilliant. Nobody picked, the Counting Crows. Not that they're not great band.
We could play drums.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, not that they're not great band, but like the drums don't really influence what they are. Like anybody could sit in for that, and you would never miss a beat. No pun intended. But I think it's interesting that everybody we picked, all these drummers had an amazing influence on what these bands became. So good calls.
John Bonham, Braun Daler, Carter Buck.
Oh, that would be a hell of a drum thing.
The drums.
Of course, one of them's dead, but
Yeah,
that would be
that's
weird. He would have his corpse out there, and it would stink up the
What
place.
in the world is going on?
I don't know. All right, so live from Winter Park, Florida, we're out. Giddy up.